both sides 2-0, Dan. To go 3-0 in a season this short is massive. Have you has the group wrapped its head around the sort of ramifications of a game like this?
To be fair, it's the old cliche of 1 week at a time. I think the first game against Richmond, having so many close games last year and not winning, and then winning as we did in the close one, round 1 was just a catalyst for round 2's belief around Freo. And yeah, Freo undermanned, but certainly posed a big challenge travelling to WA. They went to WA with big belief that they could win. So I think we're just building at the moment from win to win. So I don't know if the 2-0 and potentially going 3-0 is on their thinking, but it's around the fact that they're improving and their belief of the way they're playing and getting the wins is what's driving them at the moment.
In terms of that belief, we spoke about how important it was to win a close one in round 1, and then you go over to Freo and hold them to a point and win quite comfortably in the end. How far ahead are you, do you think, from 2 weeks ago, even in just that belief within the group of what you can achieve?
Oh, it's certainly round 1 certainly has been the catalyst to moving forward. Over the pre-season, we knew that if we just keep bolstering our defence and factoring the fact that our midfield's growing as a group, we knew that the foundations for playing consistent footy around contested ball and whatnot last season, season 6, was going to help us moving forward. So again, to get the win early and then to do well against Freo, last week Freo had our measure in the first quarter, no doubt. But again, that belief factor that are rolling on around that we're good enough to take it against the best teams. And all the best teams have great midfields. There's no doubt about that. And our midfield managed to get on top of Freo as well as Richmond. So the belief factor is rolling on quite high. And another big test, like Collingwood, outstanding midfield, and they've got players that play in the mids, go forward, go back, very, very diverse. So that's just another challenge that our group are going to face. But that whole belief factor is important. Conditions
weren't great last week, but were the defenders strutting around nice and happy with themselves after keeping them to 1 point last week?
The conditions were horrendous. Like you're watching from TV, that from top of screen to bottom of screen, the wind was howling. It was just amazing. There was clearly one attacking side, one defendable side, but they were under the pump, our defence, in that first quarter. The first 15 minutes, the ball lived in Freo's front half, and to their credit, they did really well with defending. I thought our smaller defenders did a good job of rebounding from D50. And then after quarter time, we started to play the game that we're after, changing angles, getting the ball to the top side of the ground due to the conditions and the wind. Again, we're getting opportunities, 31 inside 50s again 2 weeks in a row, which is outstanding for us as a team with our growth and development, but we're still trying to refine the way we score.
Yeah, and Nina Morrison, I spoke to her this morning about Chloe Malloy's taunting of the crowd basically after she kicked that goal last year, and says it hasn't been forgotten. Do you owe Collingwood one in a way?
I don't know if we owe Collingwood one. I know we've had some amazing games against the Pies over the last few years. I mean, obviously round 1 was 2019 was the first time we've beaten them and the only time we've beaten them. So we've had some really close games against them. I don't know if the girls feel like they owe Collingwood from last year. They certainly have a lot of belief, again, that word, the way we played against the Pies last year. We kind of just muscled that game last season, grinded 4 quarters and their class at the end of the day, got them over the line. And I think going into this game, we've built our class and our refinement around how we use the footy and how we prioritise setting the ground up to play our way. So I dare say that might be under the surface for Nina, who's an ultra competitor. But I'm not too sure how much it drives the rest of the group. It's certainly we've got a point to prove come tomorrow, and whether it be a win or a loss, it's certainly going to be an amazing game and another really good barometer for the way we play.
I understand you might have a debutante tomorrow.
I'm not too sure. We've got a couple of players that we're just still monitoring, mate, in regards to how they pulled up from Freo. So we'll make some calls over the next 24 hours. But our team's, we've still got 30 players to choose from, which is pretty exciting for us.
Okay. Can I just ask you about Rachel Kern's spot on the list? Will that be taken by somebody? Are you planning to upgrade somebody into the first?
No, not at this stage, Kingy. Her surgery went well. She had a meeting with the surgeon early this week. Everything's kind of progressing to the point where there's some hope that she might get back by the end of this season, which would be fabulous for us if we were to sneak a few more games here and there and push for finals, which is what we're aiming to do clearly. If she can be injected back into our front half, fit and firing, she's very, very keen to play. In fact, she wanted to play this weekend, but clearly she can't. But no, we're not going to replace her, mate. We're going to give her every chance to play.
Have you noticed a change between how the girls are approaching the game since last season? I know last season they only won 2 games, and here we are at the start of the season where they've won most and all of the games.
The difference from last year to this year, we're just building a lot of change happened in season 6 very quickly. We had a lot of list turnover. New coach clearly coming in, trying to put a new stamp on the way we play the game. I thought last year we set a really good foundation around how we want to play contested ball. We were a very territory-based team last season, trying to be more risk-averse and not get scored against as much as we have been in the past. So those values have underpinned the way we've moved forward with our training over the pre-season leading into season 7. And again, we've had a major list overhaul where we know we just need to be a bit more free-flowing with our football attack and our fundamentals. So I think we've improved our fundamentals. A lot of work over the pre-season into actually improving our football skill, which is the main factor of the game. There's no questioning our players' contested, aggressive, tough football that they play. But it's just that once we get the footy in our hands, what do we do from there? So a lot of that time over the break was around the fundamental exposure, adding new players to our list again to connect and get some synergy. But again, it just shows that we've improved in that space. But now it's about just that football nous and education around decision making and what we do when we get the ball in our front half, which is clearly going to be frustrating for us as we go forward. But we had 13 or 14 scoring shots last week. We just didn't kick straight. So if we kick straight, it's probably a different conversation around our lack of scoring. But it's clearly something we need to continue working on.
Just with the shorter break between the 2 seasons, has that helped the girls sort of carry momentum?
100%. We always say that the girls are the product of the game. They need to play as many games as they possibly can. So I know for a fact, and I'm one too, big believer in more games is better for them. So to get 2 seasons in one, to continue their development and continue exposure to playing, training, having the football in their hands for longer, connecting, all that synergy, it's just super important for the girls to be able to play as much football as possible. And it's showing our improvement already is not because of bringing in better players. It's just actually being able to train and be together for longer. And I think once this season finishes, there'll be a longer break clearly. But there's already measures in place to continue that development rolling on from this year to next.
And just touching on that belief factor before, the girls are on the top of the ladder just by percentage. Does that show in the training that how they've come so far?
Look, it certainly gives them some belief around the way we've trained and the models that we've put in place that are going to be important for us are working. We made some personnel changes with throwing Claudia Konjaka back into our defence with Mads McMahon not playing this season, and she's been someone who's fitted in really well and is very important in that defence. She's played defence before, so it was no surprise for her to go back and do that. It just gives Meg McDonald somebody else to be able to trust and play with. And we've got our smaller defenders have played defence for a long time as well. So the belief that we're strong in our defence is great. We've got some great connection with our midfield. We've got some experience up forward now with Jackie Parry and Kate Darby, both playing milestone games this weekend, both playing 25 games, which is great. I think the belief that across the ground we've got personnel that can play the game really well, and now put that on top of structure and method and seeing the ground up the way we want to play. I think there's a more understanding around how our football suits the strengths of our group, which is giving them further belief.
Yeah, Mads Carrick barely missed a game through the Cats' first 4 seasons. How's the conversations been with her that she now finds herself not in the best 21?
Oh, look, they're never easy conversations to have, but she's, as you said, mate, she's experienced and she's professional. She's highly motivated. She's made those conversations really easy for me, just because of the person she is. So, you know, we have these conversations daily. I'll have another one with her today again because she's currently one of our emergencies going to this week, just to be sure that she's in a good headspace. Yeah, look, for her, it's be ready and be motivated, which she is. The way she, you know, walks around the club and models, you know, professional values is exceptional. Our non-selected have got a match practice game against Richmond tomorrow up at Punt Road, so it gives them motivation to play well again, just in case, because we know that, you know, there's always going to be some ebbs and flows with selection. So she's ready to go, mate, when her chance comes. But she's a professional, and the rest of them are taking some really good, you know, good leadership from her in the way she handles herself.
Have you got any time frame on Renee Gehring possibly being available for selection, Dan?
Oh, look, it's for her, mate. It's probably the back end of the season. We'll do some touch with her tomorrow. She's back in training. She's non-contact, but she just wants to play. Like, she's constantly, you know, messaging people, trying to get around to do extra, to try and catch up, because she's just so determined to play. Because I think she can see that the fact that this group's going to be going really well over the next you know, year or two. So she wants to make sure she's a part of that. So I'll do some football with her tomorrow morning. She'll do a conditioning. I think she's pretty keen to play as soon as possible, but probably from a medical and health and safety, it's probably the back end of the year she'll be available for selection.
Just to confirm, Dan, I know you said before that there's some, I guess, balls in the air in the next 24 hours or so, but do you have any force changes at the moment that are locked in? Any
force changes? No, all fine. No, all of our players got through yesterday training, which is great. The ones who are going to be selected. So yeah, no, we're happy with the way things are going.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time.